10 clients in the first month, it sounds like, which is awesome.
Yep.
What was the income you generated? Do you remember kind of?
It was, each of those were 2,100 to 2,500 pay in full. So
Okay.
they all paid up front. So it was something like, whatever that math is, I'm not good at math, 18 or 20,000 or something like that.
Awesome. Yeah. 2,100. Yeah. Somewhere between
18 and 20,000, something like that.
Awesome.
Yep.
20 grand in the first
Yeah.
month.
So that was cool. That was nice. That was a cool shot in the arm, and, felt good.
Hello and welcome to this Fearless Coach Academy case study interview. I am super excited, Kevin, to be interviewing you today. You are an amazing client, an amazing student of ours. You create an epic result for your clients. And so I'm really excited to share with you and have you share a little bit about your journey of joining the Fearless Coach Academy. So before we dive into that, I'd love for you to just take a moment to introduce yourself. Tell us, where you're from, and tell us a little bit about your business. Who do you help? What problems do you solve? And how does that work?
Awesome. Yeah. So my name is Kevin Pedri. I'm up in Sequim, Washington, and I am a health and wellness coach. And a lot of specialization in movement has been my kind of several years of experience. But over the last about year, I've been moving into health coaching, and I help people lose weight, gain strength, and really help them overcome the obstacles related to health and wellness, pain management, and stuff like that.
Yeah, love it. And here's one of the things that I love most about you is that you don't help with just like the surface exercise and fitness stuff. You go super deep. You deal with like the limiting beliefs and the pattern restructure or the habit restructuring, a lot of the deeper kind of life coaching work that you bring into your coaching. Is that fair to say?
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah. Awesome, man. Well, tell us, we started our journey about 6 months ago. And that's when you joined the Fearless Coach Academy. Why did you join in the first place? What was going on in your business and in your life that led you to seek mentorship?
So the biggest thing for me has been I was trying to transition out of more hands-on and move into the online space and really working. And I've gotten over like 300 hours of training in different types of health and wellness coaching. And I was trying to transition online and trying to find that sweet spot to be able to do it and to get clients and do it in a way that felt authentic. Mm-hmm. And I think for coming on board with you, I felt there was an opportunity to learn how to package my program and to learn how to communicate more effectively to be able to move from in-person to online.
Yeah, and that's a huge sticking point for a lot of people with your experience, right? Because you're trained to meet with clients face-to-face.
Yep.
You're trained to do the hands-on work. And there's probably a level of fulfillment to that you were experiencing, but there's not a level of freedom. Is that fair? Is that why you wanted to kind of build something that's more online?
Absolutely. Yeah. And I love hands-on. I love people. And it's been really a transition for me. And, I've been kind of up and down, and it's been kind of cool being with you because you've really helped me like stay focused and working into that transition because it's really hard being a hands-on person and then moving into this new space and going like, I want to make sure that I can really help people and really get that same value. So yeah, it's been a cool journey doing that.
Totally. Yeah. So, so this is a big sticking point for a lot of, personal trainers, health coaches, massage therapists, people that are in the connecting with clients in person place. When we started, did you have anything online? Did you have a webinar or funnels or anything like that? Any sort of traffic being generated? And kind of what did you have at that point?
So I had gone through another program that I learned how to do funnels and do some of the marketing stuff. And so I felt really good about kind of building the message and things like that, or kind of building some of the tools. But I didn't know how to automate it in a way that was, I think, easy. I think a lot of these programs it's too complicated. Mm-hmm. And I like the simplicity of just like webinar, lead magnet, blah, blah, blah. And then just simplifying, because I was really confused at the best route to go. So I had the pieces, but I didn't have the whole process yet.
Yeah, totally get that. For you watching this, one of the most important things that you can do on your journey, whether it's considering working with me or somebody else, is to choose one process and really commit to that. And you know that, Kevin, from experience, right? Is being pulled in different directions, right? With different coaches or different gurus out there. It's just saying, okay, you know what? This is the person that I feel aligns with my values. This is the process that I'm committed to implementing and I'm working on, no matter what, like for a period of time, whether it's 90 days or 6 months or a year. It's just, this is the process that I'm going to build out. Because I think the biggest thing that slows and stops coaches today is distraction.
Yes.
And especially when we grow our business and we leverage things like social media, where social media is often the greatest source of distraction. So no wonder it's challenging. You know what I mean?
Well, that was that's what happened with me in my journey, right? Because, I was clear that I wanted to go online, but I still was being pulled by, other things. And I got a little distracted through the process. I mean, it's not hard when you know what you want to do. Good thing for a good coach that, can help keep you focused. But there's a lot of noise out there. And that's one of the biggest challenges, I think.
Yeah. How does it, I want to talk about the impact of that challenge, because this is a problem that many coaches face. How is this impacting you outside of business, whether it's, in your relationships with your family, with your kids? Was there any sort of ripple effect that was happening by not having a clear plan or not sticking to a clear plan?
Yeah. So a lot of confusion, right? And it was just, okay, I'm going to do this. And, my wife and I are like, we're going forward and we're doing this. And, it's a lot of fear of the unknown, of just saying like, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to be authentic. It's going to be great. So there's this kind of transition that has to happen where it's like, I'm really confident, but like going into a new space, it was like, I have to be a new confident now, right? Because I'm going to be doing this whole new thing, but yet I know I'm really good, but it's this transition to be able to say like, I can do this. I'm good at what I do, and being able to stay focused enough to stay the course.
Yeah.
Because I went off course, and, again, thankfully for you, you really helped me bring that into perspective. And it took me almost 5 months. So I'm a little behind. But I'm happy where I'm at because I've had amazing success, but I could have been further if I knew a little bit more of what I know now.
Yeah. And that's, I think, confusion's a big one of that, right? Because if you're confused on the path, or you don't trust it, or if you're not doing it, then no wonder there's not that confidence and that certainty there. And in the beginning, you almost have to borrow, like you had to borrow my confidence and certainty that, Kevin, just do this thing, man. Just trust the process and do this. And as you've begun to do it, you're seeing results.
Yeah.
And know that in the beginning, for you watching this, you may have to trust or borrow the confidence and certainty of your coach, but know that over time, that confidence and certainty is going to be created in yourself. And I always say that confidence is a result. It is not a requirement. To wait to feel confident is going to leave you waiting your entire life. And think about all the people that you've impacted, Kevin, over the last 6 months. Think about the results that they've had in their life and in their body. Like the increased energy, the less pain, the more strength. I mean, I think you said on average, some of your clients were losing like 18 to 20 pounds.
That's average in the programs that we're working. We're doing it in a natural way, not fad diets, none of this stuff. We're just getting real good herbal supplementation, really working in a healthy way. And people are like very surprised at the results they're getting. But it's not just the weight loss. It's not just the nutrition. It's this coaching piece, which was the missing piece, which the online piece has helped me to help people see that, because everyone's like, tell me what you do and tell me why you do it and tell me all the, specifics. It's like, I can tell you all that stuff, but if you don't do the process, you're not going to get there.
Totally. Yeah,
So,
for sure.
Yeah.
Love that. So when we started, I would imagine that, I'm not sure if you were talking to other mentors, but were there any fears or concerns, whether it was joining Fearless Coach Academy or making that level of an investment of time and money into yourself? Was there any resistance there? And if so, what was that?
I think it's always when you get into a coaching program. I've been in a few, and they're always a little bit nerve-wracking at first, because you always go like, man, I made this investment, and should I, I need to make this pay off. Otherwise my wife's going to kill me. No.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
But it is an investment. But, I realized that if you're going to make an investment, almost always, if you do the work, you're going to get something out of it. And I mean, I know that's true for me. I've gotten, tremendous value, and not just, it's not just all about money for me. I mean, it is, but there's way more to it. than that. But I think it always surrounds the money and the commitment and the time. But yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I think that would be it. If yeah.
It takes courage. I remember back when I hired my first mentor, I had literally just gotten let go of a job. So like my income evaporated, Kevin, overnight. And I had to invest 20 grand. There wasn't like a payment plan option. It was like 20 grand up front for the year. And I didn't have 20 grand. So I literally took all the savings that I had. I somehow enrolled my family to support me a little bit financially. So I got a few $1,000s there. And then the rest was like a credit card. And it was terrifying. It was like one of the scariest moments of my life. But when you do something like that, for me, it was that metaphorical, like burning the boat. Like there was no option for retreat.
That's right.
Like even if I was uncertain, even if I was insecure, even if I doubted my path, I was taking action regardless because I had to. I had to figure out how to pay the rent at the end of the month.
That's right.
You know what I mean? So obviously, we don't want you to have to be in that situation, but it does create a level of commitment and motivation. Mm-hmm. And I have seen that tremendously from you. So I just want to acknowledge you for that, which is beautiful. Let's talk about the program itself. Kind of, you've been in this journey for about 6 months. What are the top 3 things that you learned? If you think back to what we started with to what you're working on today, what are the top 3 biggest things that you've learned over the last 6 months through the program?
Well, the very first thing that I learned was about my niche, because again, part of transitioning into the new coaching space was to really get clear about what I do. And I have 20 years of experience in doing the work that I do. And I just, for whatever reason, I mean, when I'm in front of people and doing hands-on work, it was just one thing because it's just different. But when I niched down, right, it was that I help people lose weight, gain strength, and live an active lifestyle. For me, it was like, it changed everything because I started to have a clear message. It was like, this is what I do. This is why I do it. And it's like all these years I knew that, but I was really afraid to say, this is what I do, because I wanted to help everybody. And I always have this, burning desire that I can help anybody. And so there was a lot of fear to just say, like, I'm going to niche down, I'm going to do it. And, you were very persistent about that. And I'm really glad, because that was the catalyst that changed everything for me, because I got more clarity on how and who I work with, the type of person I want to work with, how I want to work with them. And instead of me chasing them, it was, okay, if you're not a fit, that's totally cool. Right. And I think that was one of the big shifts for me, because it's always like, no, let me tell you why you should work with me. And it's more like, it's kind of like switch, where it's like, let me tell you if I think you might be able to work with me. So there's been a lot of confidence with that. And I think that whole process of saying, like, I'm going to interview you and not feel desperate. I'm not going to be desperate, right? Because I have a great value, and I guarantee you, if you do the steps that I teach, because I've been doing it for 20 years, you'll get results. That was huge. That was number one.
Yeah, your process is proven. You know that when your clients do the work and they trust it and they actually follow through on everything, they're going to get the result. And when you have that level of certainty, they're going to have, Kevin, more confidence in you. So for you watching this, it's really important to know who your ideal client is, just like Kevin said, who's your niche, and narrow that down. And I can almost guarantee you, whoever's watching this right now is probably shaking their head like this, going, I'm scared to niche too.
Yep.
And if you are, I just want you to know that every single one of our students, I think you could share that, Kevin, every one of your peers along the journey has had resistance on that too.
Yep.
And the way I want you to think about it is, niching doesn't half your opportunity, it triples it.
Yes.
It really does.
Yep.
And it doesn't mean you can't help people and coach people outside of that niche. You totally can, right? And you are helping some of those people. But when it comes to marketing a message, you've got to be specific to that one person with that one problem. And if you're not, then no one's going to listen.
That's right.
Right. So that's the one thing. That's the first thing, which is beautiful. What's the next couple of things that you feel you really learned that had the biggest impact on the business and in your life?
Yep. So I would say the second piece is the packaging up my whole idea and my message. So it was a niche, which that is one thing. The second piece was really about dialing in my message and my proven process and narrowing that down and using the tools to be able to speak clearly about it, but also putting all of my content kind of in line and saying like, okay, this is what I do. This is how I do it. And that whole process was like enlightening, right? Because in my head, I get it. And when people come to me, it's like, okay, we're going to do this, 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 and this. But when you go to a coaching program, it has to be different. It's not just people are coming to me for an hour and I teach them, which I do a lot of teaching. So that's been my normal way of doing it. But now saying like, we're going to follow this exact step and getting it down onto paper. The clarity that I got around all of my work, it was like, wow, like this, I got a great thing here, man. This has been like 20 years of work that I've got here that is going to be amazing for people if they follow it. And it's just like, and if I look back at all the people who have had success, they were doing that just based on my teaching them. But for me, I got so much more clarity about my work and the way that I teach. So that was huge.
Yeah. And also think about how much more freedom you will have through taking that knowledge, now that you know your process, taking that knowledge and packaging it into video modules, into something that your clients can go through virtually or online, where you don't actually have to show up. And you still will do calls with them, whether it's group or one-on-one, but you don't have to be like teaching them with your time. And that's a big sticking point. I think any health coach specifically, like that's the hardest thing, is like they build a business where it's exchanging time for money. And that's not just health coaches, that's most coaches, right? And
we love to teach and we love to connect with people. But that's where I was when I came here. I was burned out because it's just like, I'm just working too much. And it's hard. That's part of that transition of like saying like, okay, this is good. I can use all this information and I can teach people this stuff. But I don't want to put in more energy than everybody else.
Yeah. Yeah. And I don't want to oversimplify it. It requires work to do that, right? Because now you're also not just fulfilling on the clients that you're working with, you're also spending evenings or the weekend to start unpacking your IP and start creating content. So like, just know that it's going to require work to do that, but I'd rather work hard today and have it easier later than take it easy today and have it harder later. That's my process. So love that. So that's the second thing. First one, niche. Second one, your proven process, really packaging in your program. What would be the last thing?
My last thing is the sales process. And I didn't start with that. I was going to start with that because I was really excited about that when I first came in. And, for me, that sales process of learning how to work with clients, but again, not from a place of desperation, but a place of saying like, I have a great opportunity for you. Are you, first and foremost, are you really interested? Which again, that really kind of built on all of my, training and my coaching, is that, are you really serious about the work in the first place? Like, let's have a conversation, let's talk, and let's see if you're the right fit for me instead of the other way around. And I'm not chasing people anymore. And I still kind of feel there's been a couple times where I've, haven't followed that process, and it kind of left me feeling like, I did that wrong. And, these people are like running, going like, who's this guy? He's full of crap. And, I just realized that it was just like, because my business was so easy and, you're on lower ticket, so you don't really have to sell. People pay you $80, $100. But when you start charging, real money, you got to make sure that you're working with the right people. And that sales process for me, authentic, real, easy, drives in a deeper connection with the people. You can find out right away if they're interested or if they're just, kind of, just not heckling, but just trying to find out information. So that was huge. And because of that sales process, I landed over 10 clients when I first started. The Fearless Coach Academy. That was one of the biggest things. I was so excited. And I mean, again, now we have to move forward and we have to keep going with it, but I feel like I have a good system in place. And
that's beautiful. What was the time period when you first started? Like, do you remember, was it, a month? Was it several weeks?
My first month, actually, because I got the niche And then I kind of learned the sales process. And then through that whole process of working with those people, because I just went out hard, and I closed like 10 people. And then I worked on all the stuff and, really worked on all of the proven process and putting it all together. I was still teaching the way that I teach, but I was at the same time learning how to unpack all my IP and learning how to put it into a process, which was kind of perfect because it gave me kind of a great opportunity to be financially stable for about 3 or 4 months while I was able to really work hard at all the background stuff.
Yeah, because some of the background stuff, it takes longer.
It
It's time to
was
build
a process.
It's time to build the funnels and the email campaigns. And it's like, oftentimes coaches will get discouraged because they're like, I don't see an immediate ROI on this.
Yep.
I'm like, I get that. So let's enroll some clients, get them into the program to bring in the cash flow to create the runway for you to say, okay, you know what, this is going to take 30 or 60 days, and let's build out these back end systems.
Yep.
10 clients in the first month, it sounds like, which is awesome.
Yep.
What was the income you generated? Do you remember kind of?
It was, each of those were $2,100 to $2,500 pay in full. Okay. So they all paid up front. So it was something like, whatever that math is, I'm not good at math, 18 or 20,000 or something like that.
Yeah, 2,100. Yeah, somewhere between
18 and 20,000, something like that.
Awesome. 20 grand in the first
month. So that was cool. That was nice. That was a cool shot in the arm, and felt good. That was real cool.
I love that. And then what are you most excited about next? So, you've got your program clarified, who your niche is, you have a very, very comfortable and high converting sales process. What are you most excited about working on next?
I think for me, it's, I'm just kind of dialing in. I just finished my webinar and I'm happy with it, but I'm going to keep tweaking it. And I just have a couple things to work on. And I'm going to be doing a lot of the online marketing, but I also do in-person presentations. But the whole process is exactly the same, leading people to the same process. Even if I do, in-person presentations, I'm doing the same thing. But I'm just going to continue working on kind of finishing up those things, making them a little bit tighter, and then eventually kind of working towards moving towards a little more of the group stuff in the near future.
Awesome. Love it, Kevin. Well, I am so appreciative of you sharing your journey with us. For the person watching this, they're considering joining Fearless Coach Academy. And I'm curious what you would say, who would you recommend this program to?
I would say any coach that wants to be online or is interested in moving online. I always would say, I know that if I was a lot more clear when I came in, it would be a lot quicker. But the cool thing is that, with Peter's coaching, he's going to help you kind of figure that out, even if you're brand new. So you don't have to feel like you have to, be a rock star to join this and to learn. And in fact, I really think that's a huge piece, because I watch a lot of people who are a lot newer at this too. We're gaining this clarity and putting this together. So anybody who wants to be online, anybody who wants to work to, really, it could be fitness, it could be health and wellness, it could be life coaches, it could be counselors, it could be all kinds of things. But you don't have to worry about knowing everything, because Peter's going to guide you in that right process. So that feels good. So if you're looking to move online, if you're looking to learn the process, if you're looking to feel like you have somebody that can take you from point A to point B, I'm confident this program will do that for you.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate that. Very cool. Well, for those who are watching that would love to kind of find out more about your business, where could they go to connect with you?
Yes, they can go to kevinpedry.com, or they can see me on Facebook, and they can learn about me. My business is called Northwest Fitness, LLC.
Perfect. So kevinpedry.com and Northwest Fitness, LLC. Perfect. So Kevin, really appreciate the time, man. This is awesome. You have been a unbelievable student. So I just want to take a moment. You literally are a rock star student. Many of our students will come in and they will be curious and open-minded, just like you are, but not all of them will be as committed as implementing quickly as you were. And I was blown away. I remember seeing within like the first 7 to 14 days in the Facebook group, like just enrolled 3 clients at $21, just, sign this new person. I've got 8, more market research calls booked. Like you were just, you adopted the process, you trusted it, and you implemented quickly. And so for you watching this, I want you to model that, whether that's working with me and joining Fearless Coach Academy or anyone else that you decide to work with. Being quick to implement is the one thing, it's the most important thing that's going to decide whether you hit the goals that you have for your life and your business. And Kevin, you are doing amazing at that, man. So for you watching this, if you would like to kind of explore a conversation to see if Fearless Coach Academy is right for you. And what I invite you to do is let's book a quick 15-minute call. Let's jump on a call and brainstorm some strategies about growing your business, and we'll work out if or how we can help you. And the easiest way to do that is to just go to earn100kcoaching.com. That's the website. It's a short application. You fill out a couple questions, then you get directed to my calendar and we book a call. So if you go to www.earn100kcoaching.com, we can book a quick 15-minute brainstorm call to explore if we can help you. Kevin, I appreciate you, brother. Really, really proud of the work you've done.
Thank you.
All right. I'll talk to you soon.